Well, hey folks, this is John with Ozarks Backroads. We've made it back from our South Dakota trip. We're back in the Ozarks today. We're along the Current River in the eastern part of the Ozarks here in Missouri. I found a spring that comes out of a cave on a map, and I finally figured out where it's at. So we're going to go down and take a look at it. I've never been there before. It should be pretty interesting, I think. And then we'll take a look at another big spring today as well and do some riding through a large section of national forest land while we're over here. So stick around, we'll take the big white tiger for a ride over here in the eastern Missouri Ozarks. All right, we've got the mighty Tiger all loaded up with all my survival gear and my camera equipment. And we're almost to our destination for our first spring. It's a couple of 3 miles on over by the river here down this road. According to Google Maps, that's the situation. So we'll see how that works out. I haven't had the Tiger out much this year. I have ridden it a few times now. I'm trying to spend more time with it and get some miles on it. I'm putting all the miles on my other bikes, and I'm not riding this thing like I need to be. I try to split my mileage up. Split my mileage up for the season on all my bikes. However many bikes I've got, I try to get miles on all of them so I don't put a whole bunch on any one bike. So I need to ride the Tiger a little more this year and put some miles on it. So we'll run down here. Let's see, I need to get my traction control turned off. In case this road gets snotty, I may need some traction. Entering the Ozark National Scenic Riverway. So we just entered National Forest Land is what that means. It is pretty though. Some big timber. Hadn't been logged in a long time. So we're just off of the Current River. It's dead ahead here. But we're going to stop a little short and take a look at this spring coming out of this cave. And then the little creek it makes runs on down and dumps into the Current River down here. Boy, I tell you, this Tiger, man, it feels heavy. I believe this is it. We have to walk the little spring creek right there coming down, so we'll have to go upstream. We'll find a place to pull up here. Yeah, this Tiger feels like it's enormous after riding that little KLX, that little Kawasaki KLX 300. I've been on it for a week out in South Dakota. Come home and jump on this and whoo, it feels heavy. Okay, well, it was a very short walk up this little stream to the cave. Maybe a couple of 100 feet at the most. And we got a stream coming out of it. Pretty good sized cave opening. It doesn't look like it goes back real far. It's got quite a bit of water coming out of it. We haven't had any rain in quite a while. Not a lot of light today. It's going to be hard to see a lot in there. We'll do the best we can. Big limestone cave. Dolomite, they call it. So here's a look out the cave. Got pretty much the entire opening there in this shot with this real wide angle lens. Pretty sweet. Little dam. I'm kind of right behind the dam right here. It's a cool place. So here we are kind of towards the back of the cave, right behind the dam. You can see, hopefully you can see where the stream comes out from underneath the bluff there, or the bottom of the cave. And then they've got the dam built right here. They just kind of used whatever they had, cemented a bunch of rocks together right there for an abutment. Into the wall on the other side, looks like they just cemented it right into the side of the cave there. That's pretty cool. That is a really sweet pool of crystal clear water right there. So back in the 1920s and 30s, there was a family that owned this property here along the river, and they owned this cave, and they built this dam to provide electricity for their water pump, so they could pump water up to their house that was up on top of the hill here. So this little dam they built, they had a small turbine set in here with a small generator on it, and they could kick that on and run their water pump and pump water up to their house. And the grandson of the people that used to own this said that they left this property in the 1940s, the mid 1940s. They left, and I believe he said they moved to West Plains, Missouri. All right, well, we had a pretty good look at caves at the Hunter Spring or Cave Spring. We're going to jump on the Tiger and go on down the road. I think we can get a little closer to the current river down here, and maybe we can get the drone up and fly it out over the river. I've never flown down here on the river. I've never even been right here on the river, so this is all new to me. Whew, man, oh man, it is steamy hot. The humidity has got to be close to 90 or 95% today. It's just super steamy. It was nice and cool in that cave with that cold water in there. But boy, when I come out, whoo, no more nice and cool out here. Man, I love it along these rivers. Anytime you get along a river, it's just, man, I love it. It really don't matter where you're at in the country. It's kind of the same. It's always nice and lush along the rivers. And they've had the road grader down here as well. They're keeping these roads up in pretty good shape. Oh boy. This is slick. Really slick. Yeah, there's a hiking trail marked right there. This is a little creek. This is not the current river. It's on over. We'll take a look at this little creek while we're here. Whew. We could continue on here, but that's a long crossing, and it looks like it gets a couple of feet deep there in the middle. I don't believe I'll be doing that today. I think we need to run the drone up through there and then fly down the creek here, and yeah, I think that's what we need to do. Let's give that a shot and try not to hit any limbs hanging out over the creek. That's kind of important. was a pretty nice spot right here. We got the drone up and flew it up the creek and down the creek, and then we flew it down the creek overhead down to where it dumps into the current river down there. Got a few pictures of that, so that's pretty cool. Yep, it's slick. All right. Didn't die or nothing. We'll go back to Van Buren and get some groceries, and then we'll head out to another huge spring. I believe it's the largest spring in the state of Missouri, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's right. You can go ahead and quote me on that one. There's a little log cabin from back in the day. It's kind of fallen down in the middle there, but it's holding in there, hanging on. This is the massive community of Hunter right here. There's an old building. I don't know if this used to be an old store here at the crossroads or what that used to be. Stucco structure. Got some trailer homes, and I'm not sure what that is. Home or two. There's several houses in here, but that was Hunter right there. That was the total municipal. Okay, we got some groceries in us. I feel a lot better. Still hot though. Didn't do anything for that. But we're in Van Buren, Missouri, which just a small little town. It's on the current river, is its claim to fame. Right on the current river, on the banks of it here. It's a little small town, doesn't have a Walmart or anything. But they got a river and they got a city park right here. So we'll take a look at Van Buren City Park. So this is the current river right here. They got a boat ramp. The river making its way down. This is the Highway 60 bridge, US Highway 60 over the current river right here at Van Buren. We got a little beach here. You can sit, kids can play. It's pretty cool. Good place to be today, I tell you. It is smoking hot outside. If the kids don't get cooked by the sun. Not a lot of water in the river. It's pretty low right now. You can see how high the river has been. It's 37.2 feet there in May of 2017. Got over halfway up those, looks like. And then 29 feet in March of 1904. 27 feet in 1993. All right, well, we're going to take a ride now and go out and see the biggest spring in Missouri. Third largest spring in the United States, in the continental United States. It's a pretty big spring, folks. I'm telling you, it's a big one. You can get in here from the back way. I think that's what we'll do today. That's the way I'd have to ride one of them bicycles right there. I have to push it up every hill. But boy, you could go fast going down. The last time I was out at Zion National Park in Utah, they got a big mountain you come across with a tunnel that goes through it, and you come out of the tunnel and you start switchbacking down this mountain down into the canyon. And there was a group of kids with their mountain bicycles. They had somebody in a vehicle that would tow them up to the top of the mountain up there where the tunnels come, where the tunnel exits, all the way at the top, and then they'd coast. They'd come down that mountain, down through them switchbacks, and you talk about fly, man. They were flying on those things. And those bicycles were just whining. When they'd go by. Got a campground over here. Well, they got several. This is one of their campgrounds. in there. All right, we got the dogs. Everybody has to bring their dogs to the park. I think it's a state law. And here is the spring. We'll go down here and take a quick look at this. Pretty cool spring. And looky right here. I've got just a dab of shade that I can park under. If I don't stay too long, I'll have shade. How lucky is that to get a spot with shade? I mean, come on. Today is my day. So this is the creek here that's made up. This is all from the spring. Right here, right out of the hole in the bottom of the mountain. Pretty cool. It just boils up kind of out of some cracks in the ground right there below those two big holes in the bottom of that bluff. And you can see how high the bluff is and the mountain above all this. Right here is where it comes up out of the ground, starts heading downstream. I believe we've had a marriage proposal here. We've got a ring going on. This looks like the real deal. So this is where it comes up out of the ground right here. It just boils up. You can see how it's all boiling up out of the, humping up. That's the water coming up out of the ground. If you want to find a bigger spring than this, you're going to have to go to either Idaho or Washington State. They've got, both of those places have springs that are at times bigger than this, and at times this spring is bigger than those, but this is said to be the third largest in the United States. So I trust that that's probably correct. Then right over here are some places where the water used to come out of this bluff. We're basically standing right on top of where all this boils up out of. That's pretty amazing. Here's a shot inside one of these pockets. How's this for a shot? I crawled up in one of these pockets. That's pretty cool right there. Pretty darn sweet. You can see all the watercress growing in the bottom of this little creek. Over here in this backwater, you can get a look at it. Some watercress in the bottom. I think the whole bottom of this thing is covered with it when you get on out there in the channel. Be a lot of it. 286 million gallons of water carry 173 tons of dissolved dolomite bedrock away daily. Over the course of a year, this would equate to a new single passageway nearly 11 feet wide and 12 feet high, spanning 1 mile in length. So this water system that's coming through the mountains here is carrying away 173 tons of limestone daily. That's what gives the water that unique aqua blue color, is all the lime that's dissolved in the water from going through the bedrock, through the limestone bedrock. We're going to take a ride through the government woods now, if I can navigate my way. Get my navigation device pulled up here. This is State Highway Z that leaves Big Spring National Park or State Park, and it heads south along, it follows the river south out of the park. So we're just kind of following along where the river's at. Not that it's humid, but my glasses are fogging up. There is a cemetery. I bet that's an old one too. far out here in the middle of nowhere as it is. A little sandy and ruddy. Yeah, there's definitely some sand. Who'd have thought there'd be sand down on a river bottom anyhow? I'm gonna have to put a little smoke on this one. Whoo, I mean straight up. Oh yeah. Oh. Now that was a pretty good climb there. This is called Current River Road, or Z Highway until it turned to dirt, and then it's called Current River Road. Ooh, kind of spooky down in here. Big old trees covered in vines. It's like something off Deliverance. 1941 Wood Brothers. All right. I guess the Wood Brothers built that barn in 1941. Had a little limb in the road there. Don't look like there's much traffic along here. Well, they haven't wasted any money mowing down here. That's for sure. Nothing's mowed. The fields, the right-of-ways, the ditches. Get the natural experience here. Tiger's belching a little heat out on my legs. Fans must have kicked on. I do not need that at all. Oh yeah, here we go. Actually, to be that steep, it's in pretty good shape. These roads tend to wash out real bad on them steep sections. That one was pretty good. There's a coon in the road. A baby. Right here's the pavement. Yep. Really sweet. Junction C Highway. Well, folks, we've made it back to civilization. We got two highways have come together here. Takes us up to the main highway that takes us back to the world headquarters. So we're not too far away. Probably about an hour once I get to the slab up here. So we found a cool new cave today that I've never been to. I was pretty excited to find that, a cave with a spring coming out of it. That was neat. And then of course Big Spring's always a crowd pleaser. That's just a beautiful place, a huge spring. The ride out of Big Spring here on the Current River Roads to the south out of Big Spring State Park. Pretty nice ride. That's a pretty cool dirt road with some nice climbs and really pretty country right through there. I'm gonna head for the world headquarters, get that air conditioner cranked up. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. I invite you all to come back and see me. We'll jump on something and go somewhere. Till I catch up with you again, you all take care of yourselves. We'll catch you next time.